Here we will teach you how to set up an interface to enter weight on a formula. Once you've sent a group formula update to the interface with its formulas, you would want to go through your setups. The first thing you would do then to get into setups is put in the password. The password is the number 7 6 times. Here you will select 1 for setup, 1 for watchdog setups, and 1 for machine setup. Auto chem flush, key in seconds. This is the amount of time that the pumping system will flush to the washer. That flush is after the chemicals. So after it's pumped the chemicals, it will flush an additional 30 seconds to get the chemistry to the washer. If you want to change this time based on distance, you're simply going to press clear, enter in your new time, and then enter to accept. Latch delay. You must set a latch delay, and this is based on the supply signals that the washer can turn on and off. If a washer can turn all the supply signals on in one step, a latch delay of 5 seconds is plenty. If you have a washer that is limited and can only turn on 1 or 2 supply signals in a step, you will need to set the latch delay to a longer time. For an example, on a Braun and Elco washer, it can only do 2 supply signals per step. So if you asked for formula 7, you would need to turn on supply 1 and supply 2 in step 1. Then the washer would have to go to the second step in order to turn on supply 3 and supply 7, which may be used as the latch. That would give you a binary total of 7, and it would give you supply 7 being the latch, therefore giving you formula 7. And on that then you would probably want a latch delay of 40 seconds to give it time to go from step 1 to step 2 and add all of those supply signals up. In our demonstration, the washer is capable of turning all the supply signals on in one step, so a latch delay of 5 seconds is acceptable. Then you press enter to accept. Chemical watchdog, key in time. This is the amount of time that the interface says, I will wait for the pumping system to respond to let me know it's going to give me soap, or it is dosing its soap to the washer. With 6 washers in a wash aisle, or a lot of washers in a wash aisle, a system may get held up as it tries to service the other washers. Normally, a safe chemical watchdog time is 15 minutes. So for us, we have 15 minutes, enter to accept. Prompt wait. This is where we want to say yes. We can prompt wait once, which will only allow you to key in 1 wait, or you can prompt wait many times, which will allow you to key in multiple waits. So if you only have 1 load going into the washer from 1 sling, you would only need to key in 1 wait. If you had 3 different loads, you could put each weight in and add them up, and the system will do that for you. For us, we only need to enter the weight once. That's the best way to do it. Then you would press enter to accept. Here you enter the minimum amount of weight that you will let the operator put into the interface. For us, we have 200 pounds. We can clear that number, make it 250, enter to accept. The high weight allowed. This is the maximum poundage that you will be allowed, or the operator will be allowed, to put into the interface. The maximum number you can put in is 1,499 pounds. For us, 600 pounds is acceptable. Enter to accept. Signal mute time. When the interface has an alarm and you press the clear button, it will then silence the alarm for the amount of time you have in the screen. 5 minutes is acceptable. We'll press enter to accept. The interface is now set up to enter weight. The minimum weight, 250 pounds. The maximum weight, 600 pounds. If you try to enter a number that is not within that parameter, it will not accept it and it will stay on that screen. While it's on the screen to key in weight, it should also be holding the washer so that it cannot advance. Once the washer has started a formula, you then get your prompt to key in pounds. Again, if you enter in a weight that's not in the acceptable parameters, it will tell you out of range. That means that this number cannot be used. So we have to give it an acceptable number before it will move on. Once you have the acceptable number, it releases the washer from hold and says, I'm waiting for the washer to tell me what to do next. So for this instance, the washer is now going to send injection 1. Once injection 1 is received, it waits the amount of time that you put in for the latch delay to make sure that no other supply signals are going to turn on. Again, we only had 5 seconds set. So now the washer's on hold, supply step 1. It's waiting for the pumping system to tell it that it's getting soap. Once the pumping system starts pumping chemical to the washer, it continues to hold. Once the pumping system has finished with the chemistry, it will release the hold and finish flushing just water to the washer. So again, once it's done pumping the chemical portion, it will release the hold and continue flushing the water to the washer. Now the pumping system has finished pumping the chemistry and has released the hold and is now finishing its flush to the washer. Once it is finished, it will go to the next step and get its next injection. For us, we only have one injection. So now the washer gets to the end of its cycle, sends the binary, and ends the formula.